Good morning, precious. How you doing, baby? Happy Wednesday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya, when you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe. I'm still trying to be famous. Look at some of the videos. And if you see anything that you like, please hit share. You'll see me at different locations. Sometimes I done flew away from here. Yeah. So check out all the videos, guys. All of them have a point. All of them have a message. I don't think I came on here just talking about nothing, so give me a chance. Give me a shout out. So y'all, first off, please get a copy of my book. Yes, I wrote a book, Dysfunctional Family. Now, this is what your cover look like. I'm going into the new year with a nice cover, y'all. I've been showing y'all that old raggedy book, trying to make a, how do I put it? I can't even think of the word right now. But basically using the book as a symbol of my life and what I was going through, and it being so rattled and tattered, but yet and still it has a story to tell. But no, this year I'm going in with a nice new book, and this is what your book could look like too when you order it from lulupublishing.com, or if you go to Amazon and get you a copy. So y'all, before I go any further, I had a couple DMs, and they simply was just asking, what is we doing? And I bet you they was people that was coming on trying to get the manipulation tips so they could use them on their baby mama or their baby daddy. I know. I give y'all those tips not to use them against them, but just to know that they're being used. That way you can have a proper conversation with your baby mama and your baby daddy. Don't make the mistake of trying to do the same thing. Yeah, if they over there talking bad about you, you done found out they talking bad about you. Don't you start talking bad about them to the baby, because you would be abusing the baby the same as them. I know you would want to, and I'm telling you from experience, because I did this. Like, after the baby left and I did have an opportunity to have her to myself and talk to her, oh my God, I was so filled with emotion and hatred, and I was so upset, and I just exploded. And I told her that when we was in the marriage, the main reason why I divorced him was because he was physically abusive, and he choked me almost half to death 3 times. I know it took me 3 times to realize to leave this nigga alone. I know. Duh. But yeah. And you know what she told me? She said, what am I supposed to do with that? Right, because if I ain't said nothing by now, all this time down went past, because I made this monster look like a man in the eyes of his daughter. I felt like that was my job as the baby mama, right? So telling her all the reasons why we broke up, I didn't feel it was necessary to go into all the gory details, but I'm quite sure he did. That's why I say when y'all talking to that baby, make sure y'all breakup story is the same. That way the weight is not shifted so much on just one parent. Because see, I'm quite sure he made her feel as if I was probably the reason for the divorce. But I didn't do that. I just told him that we didn't get along. We was just having too many issues, and that's that. But I never told her that he was physically abusive. I never told her that him and his mama were both emotionally abusive to me. I never said that. But I felt like that was my opportunity to get him. And I did it. Don't do it. Because that'll make you just as bad as them. You would be abusing that baby at that time, the same as them. So don't do that. Yeah. So today I had a couple of DMs, people trying to figure out what we doing, where we at. 1 minute we talking about this, 1 minute we talking about that. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's purposely done. I have it in my syllabus. Because that's how parenting is. If you ain't putting out a fire for your child every day, and if you got multiple children, if you ain't putting out multiple fires every day, something ain't right. As a parent, something ain't right. And the only thing I can think of is your kids not talking to you. They're not telling you what's going on. You know as a child how things were when you went to school every day. It was always something going on. Same as these kids. When they go to school, they see stuff, they meet people, they hear things. So they go through things too. They have ups and downs. They have good days. They have bad days. That's why it was so important for me in the morning when I drop my babies off to wish them a good day. Hope they have a good day. Think good thoughts. Don't let nothing bother you. I tell them this. I give them this pep talk every morning before I drop them off. And then when I pick them up, I have them tell me about their day. They cut the radio off, and I have them tell me their day from the time that they walked into school, from the time that you hung up your jacket, from the time that you went to your first hour, from the time you got to lunch, from the time I picked you up right now. What happened? And they would go through that whole day. So if it's any fires, if it's anything that was going on, if it's anything I needed to intervene on, if it was anything I needed to help coach them through, I was able to do that on those car ride homes. As I tell you, those car ride conversations are so important. They're so important. So yeah, this is what we did every day. It was a routine. And then I'll tell them about my day. It was a routine every day. And then I'll drop them off at practice. And they'll tell me how practice was. And then I'll pick them up, take them home, eat dinner. And then we'll start again the next day. So this was our routine, right? So we're talking about a lot. So if you're not putting out fires, you're not going through a lot every day, you're not doing something right as a parent. So me purposely putting you guys through all of this is a reason for it. It's a method to my madness. And it's to sharpen your skills as a parent. So we're doing a lot this semester. We pulled out your boards that we created your 9th grade year. We're still trying to figure out who poisoning your baby against you. Because there got to be a reason. If there's no abuse or neglect, somebody's telling your baby not to deal with you. Somebody's telling your baby not to call you. Somebody's telling your baby that you're not good enough to be in their life. Somebody's telling your baby that. So therefore, it's conditioning your baby's brain that you are not for them. I know, you the mama and the daddy. You brought this baby here, but somebody's telling that baby that they're better off without you. Somebody's telling that baby that they don't need you. Somebody's telling that baby that. And so by now, this is how the baby feels about you. This is why you have no communication. This is why you have no relationship. Because this is how the baby feels about you. There's no way that baby should feel that way about their parent. And there's no abuse or neglect, right? So, yeah, who's poisoning your baby to feel that way? Yeah, you should have been able to answer some of your questions. Your who, your what, your when, and your whys. Yeah. You should have been able to add some suspects to your list. Yeah, you realize that such and such was there when this happened. Yeah, they should have been able to do this, and they should have been able to do that. Yeah, in most cases, those are people that's guilty by association. So, yeah, you got some of them you don't probably added onto your list. You probably took a couple people off, but you probably added a couple people on. You probably crossed the people out that was guilty by association that didn't know you. Because all they know is what the parent has said about you. So they really don't personally know you. But the ones that personally know you, that could have done something, meaning that they could have intervened, they could have said something, they could have asked the right questions to find out what. Like, it's people that know me, that know that I'm connected with the youth program. I don't understand why they wouldn't have. And one of those individuals actually came to me for a reference to my job. I know they had got a DUI and was having trouble getting employed places. So they asked me, so you want me to put my name out for you? And I did that. I did. I thought about it long and hard because my name is all I got. Yeah, so I definitely don't really want to put my name out for somebody who has a DUI and has a history of drinking, you know. But this is one of the individuals that's raising my child that I have no communication with. I know. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So, yeah, they're guilty by association because they should have been able to stand in and say something, at least speak on my behalf. If you can call me and ask me to give you a reference, and you can call me to congratulate me about a youth program because you seen me on the news and you want people to think that you know me like that, yeah, or I ain't gonna say know me like that. Yeah, that's fine, but you can't call me and tell me about the baby and what's going on and how we can mend this gap and fix it and fix it, Jesus. So yeah, those people stay on the damn list. We're going over the manipulation tips from your 9th grade year. We're looking at the psychological damage and the adverse effect that it has on your baby over time. Every time you drop that baby off, they talking shit about you. They talking about you. They got this inappropriate relationship going on. They doing things without including you. They got all this going on. Every time you drop them off, they talking that everything you do is bad. Nothing you do is good. So they talking so down. And I can't imagine how I have become so devalued. An educated black woman. Fix it, Jesus. A mother at that. How can a mother get devalued? Everybody know that it take 5 daddies for one mama. It takes 5 daddies to equal one mama, right? So for a dad to feel like he could do a better job to me, that means that I wasn't offering, I wasn't doing nothing. I couldn't even teach her how to be a lady. Fix it, Jesus. He had that covered too. And I wonder who's teaching her that. I wonder who's teaching her how to be a woman, how to be a lady, how to carry herself, how to walk into a room, how to command the presence of people when she walks without saying a word. Like, I wonder who's doing that. So we're going over the manipulation tips, and we're looking at the adverse effect and the psychological damage that it has. We're looking at the after effect of how everything, after it has happened, how it has affected the other children and how people are getting along and getting by and needing help and whatnot. Yep. And then we are talking about, let me see what else we're talking about. The after effect kids were filled. Yeah, like before all of this happened, all of my children were filled with so much promise. Like, all my children were doing well. They weren't struggling and suffering with depression. Like, they were actually just living life, like on the scale that I feel like they should be at. You understand what I'm saying? Like at certain ages and levels in life, I feel like you should be here, or you should be, that's just my opinion. You should be here, you should be here, you should be. So they were actually progressing, leaving the nest according to plan. Like everybody was progressing. Like, I don't know why they couldn't see that. Why the other side of the family felt like they were doing so much, or they were so much better, to where they couldn't see what I was doing in my home with my own children. Like that. So we're talking about that. Yeah, because it's a tragedy. It's a crime. It's a crime. And that's why I got it set up this way. It's a crime. The fact that nobody cared about the effect that it's going to have on my other children. The fact that they had so much hatred for me. I don't even know why they don't like me like that. I really don't. Now, I did write about them in this book. I did. But if you look at the things that I wrote about them, they're stamped. Meaning that whatever I wrote about them, if it wasn't nice, it was going on that day. That day. So that means the narrative of their story could have changed at any time in this book. But his mother was horrible. She was a horrible mother-in-law. She was the type of mother that felt like that was her man instead of her son. So if you ever been in a situation like that, if you ever dealt with a mother-in-law from hell who felt like the son was her man, then you know where I'm at. So yeah, I write about a lot of that in this book. Because that was dysfunctional to me. That was an inappropriate relationship that a mother should have with her son. Right? So we're talking about that. So now we're talking about disorders, because we're going to tie them into parenting. We're going to tie them into how you can be affected. We're going to tie them into how your children can be affected as a result of you using these manipulation tips and not being able to work together with your baby mama and your baby daddy. Y'all was working together when y'all had the baby. What's stopping y'all from working together now? Hey, Jonathan Golden, how you doing, honey? Welcome to Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. So we're covering all these disorders. So far, we've covered bipolar 1 disorder. We've covered anxiety. We've covered post-traumatic stress. We've covered depression. And when we covered depression, we uncovered clinical depression, persistent depressive disorder, manic depressive disorder, which was tied to bipolar 1 disorder. And we covered postpartum depression. Yesterday, we covered autism. And I forgot to tell y'all that autism, let me see, all those symptoms that I told you should be looking for in your baby, some may experience all, while others may not. Since autism exists on a spectrum, the severity of the condition will greatly vary from person to person. 31% of people experience an intellectual disability as a result of ASD, and 44% of people have an average or above IQ score. So I forgot to add that yesterday when we talked about autism, y'all. So that was it. Tomorrow we're going to cover ADHD. Attitude adjustment. Yeah, we are accepting children 12 to 17 with behavior issues for our January workshop. So the last day to register would be on the 24th. So that means you have had to pay your fee, register, and have had the family meeting by the 24th in order for your child to participate in our workshop on the 27th. So attitude adjustment is accepting applicants for our January workshop. We deal with children 12 to 17, boys and girls with behavioral issues. I said it. And the co-parenting workshop is coming up February 1st. I know y'all been asking about it. This is the 8-week workshop that I put together to help you get along with your baby mama and your baby daddy. Yeah. Some of y'all might be coming to me from the court. Some of y'all lawyers might have referred you to me. Yeah. So this is open to everybody. Yeah. And it starts February 1st. You have to be there and register by February 1st, or you will have to wait for the next workshop, because everything is set up in a divine order to where you have to go according to how the workshop is set up. Like we talk about forgiveness, we talk about communicating, we have workshops for the step-parents, we have workshops for the grandparents, we help you set up boundaries when it comes to certain situations. So we talk about how you can get along with your baby mama and your baby daddy better. Yeah. So if you would like to be a guest, Motor City Radio, this year is coming up. You just started a new business. You want a good way to promote? Come on my show. Our show is on YouTube, Roku, and about 6 or 7 other different outlets. Facebook, Instagram, so people be able to see you live, and you'll be able to share the show and use it as a marketing tool. So if you have an event coming up, you have a book you want to get out there, you have talent, you just want to come on and just kick it with me. Yeah. Use my show as your platform. Yeah, so if you want any of these services, y'all, call me, 313-586-2240. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about ADHD. And I got to hurry up and get to the cigar bar. I got to go to work.